Hello there guys and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront II video. Today I'm going to be going over the recent news that Scarif is coming to the game and talking about that in a little bit more detail. Before getting into that though, I would like to apologise for not having a video out about the CT the other day. It came out just before I was heading to work, so as a result of that I didn't have time to make it, and I didn't have time on Saturday or Sunday to make it either. And by the time this video goes up on the Monday, the update would have already been out and many other YouTubers would have already covered the news anyway, so as a result I thought I decided to look ahead into the future. So starting off in February, we will be receiving co-op for the original trilogy, which is of course very good news. Now this means that we will have all three eras for the mode, which I'm really happy about, and not only will co-op have all three eras as well, but later on in the year, so I'm kind of guessing either March or April and onwards, Supremacy will be receiving the original trilogy as well, on maps like the Death Star and, at a huge request, Scarif from 2015. Now the reason I call it Supremacy instead of Capital Supremacy is that the name is being changed because in the original trilogy we're not going to be having capital ships at all, it's just going to be the ground phase, so essentially the whole mode is being renamed called Supremacy. The reintroduction of Scarif is of course very exciting news, and I'm really looking forward to getting back onto this beautiful map and experience it in this game. With that said, I do feel as though it is really important to not get too far ahead of ourselves. Scarif coming to this game does not mean that we will be getting Jyn and Krennic as heroes, and it also does not mean that Shore Troopers and other pieces of customization will be added on top of that. Now I'm not saying that we won't be getting any of this content, obviously nothing's been confirmed yet, I can't say what's coming, what's not, obviously because I don't know, but I just don't want people to get too far ahead of themselves and set themselves up for disappointment. I think throughout the lifespan of this game we have often seen people do this exact thing, and obviously they get annoyed and sometimes it leads to comments that should never be said, and that's directed towards the devs and other people. Now there's a little bit of irony here for you guys, but that being said, I do really feel as though it would be a huge missed opportunity if at the very least we don't see Shore Troopers or Scarif Rebel soldiers in the game when they launch Scarif. I imagine the Rebels will use their Scarif Troopers for their default appearance, obviously we saw that in Battlefront 2015 as well, and I can totally understand that, but I really feel as though the Empire should add the Shore Troopers as well. So far there are actually 3 different variations of the Shore Trooper, and they could play it safe and not give the officer skin one, or they could go and do a 4th design and give that skin to obviously the officer class or whatever class they feel is best for each appearance. I really feel as though this is the perfect opportunity for DICE to really start to focus on customization a little bit more, as well as some more maps. Obviously looking at the community survey data that Ben Walk showed over on Reddit a few days ago, maps for the large scale modes were actually the biggest pieces of content that was requested by the community. So I'm hoping DICE really do take this into account, and over the course of the next hopefully year or so we can start to see more maps. And obviously customization for me is such a big part. Obviously it's Star Wars, there's loads of different armor types for the clones, stormtroopers, tons of different alien species that could be added as well. So I really hope that over the next year is also again that DICE go and really focus on adding some more customization to make everyone feel a bit more unique in the game. Scarif, as far as we know thus far, is not coming to Galactic Assault, which really is a shame. I think right now that Galactic Assault is my favourite mode, and I know many others enjoy playing it as well, and we haven't obviously had a GA map since November 2018. Now obviously Capital Supremacy was then launched a few months after that, and I know a ton of the community do enjoy playing that, but for me it's one of the modes that kind of gets really repetitive after just one game, and after a game goes on longer than about half an hour I do just want it to end. This year of neglect for Galactic Assault is obviously a shame and very frustrating for those who, like me, enjoy playing this mode. The only way I can essentially forgive this neglect is that if DICE start to bring us maps to Galactic Assault after they launch Supremacy to the original trilogy. I feel as though DICE focusing on bringing CS to all eras is totally understandable, as long as that after they've done this they do either one of the 2 following things. So the first thing is that DICE essentially just make one map that accommodate both Galactic Assault and Capital Supremacy. For CS they obviously can tweak the map barriers and obviously add different assets, take some things away and obviously just make it suit the mode a bit better, obviously like they've done with Kamino, Naboo and Kashyyyk, or they've got this other option as well, and that is to just make 2 maps but for the same planet. So let's say in August this year they wanted to bring Sullust or Umbara to Battlefront 2. With this they can make 2 completely separate maps, one for Galactic Assault and another for Capital Supremacy, very much like what they did with Geonosis. I would very much prefer to see the second option, so where we get 2 maps on the same planet with one for each mode. Whether this is realistic or not I don't know, we don't know the size of their team either, and obviously that's not information we're going to be receiving by DICE at any time, but I really feel as though if they created all the assets together then essentially split off into 2 smaller teams to build the maps, then that could potentially work. Obviously, I don't know what their workflows are like. Obviously, they may not do any of that, and what I just said can be complete and utter nonsense. But if that can be done, whether we get, 2 different maps for the same planet or 1 for each mode, then I really feel as though players will be satisfied for both modes, and obviously each mode will be more unique to each other, and obviously players will be then more willing to try that other mode because it's got different maps, and I really do feel as though if we can see something like that, then it would be fantastic. So I know I spoke about a few different topics in this video, so to conclude, just because we're getting Scarif doesn't mean we'll be getting any other Rogue One related content. It would obviously be a missed opportunity if we don't, however, and I really hope that DICE can start focusing on making more maps for both Galactic Assault and Capital Supremacy. Leave your thoughts about all this in the comments below, guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.